a businessman, not a religious Jew, lived in New York. Not a religious Jew. A Moroccan Jew, and all of them have good, feelings for, but anyway, totally not religious Jew. However it was, someone convinced this David Asulin to go to the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Asulin, usually Asulin are Moroccan names, it's Sephardic Jews, so they all have a sort of a warm feeling for Judaism, a little bit. Anyway, somebody convinced him that he should go to the Lubavitcher Rebbe for bringing Yutet Kislev or whatever it was. So we went. Somebody told him that so we went to the Farbringen. After the Farbringen, so the Rebbe, people lined up and they got bottles of vodka. The Rebbe gave out bottles of vodka. From where were the bottles of vodka? Before the Farbringen, before Shabbat, people would bring in a bottle. They would buy a bottle of vodka, bring it in, and usually they would put their name on it or something, sometimes not. And they would bring it in and say, this is for, I'm bringing this in for my, the new building that I'm making. I'm bringing this in for my son's bar mitzvah. I'm bringing. So he came, he was, maybe he was with a friend or something, and he enjoyed it. I think he had the translation. They put earphones on. So it was translated for him. And he saw people going up and standing in line after the Farbringen was over. The Rebbe would speak. Have you ever seen the Farbringen of the Rebbe? He would speak for hours. And it was interesting. When I became a Baal Tshuva, was like 50 years ago, 1971. When I went to every Farbringen. I didn't understand the word, but just being there in the room and seeing the Rebbe was just something, I don't know, it was unexplainable. It was unexplainable. Anyway, so afterwards, everybody lined up, and he stood in line also to get it. He didn't know that you were supposed to bring a bottle. And the Rebbe had extra bottles there also, must have been. However it was, he went up and he looked at the Rebbe, and, usually people would go up to the Rebbe and they would say, I'm making a new building. My daughter's getting married. He would say something. So he went up to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe looked up at him, and he looked at the Rebbe, and the Rebbe said, no. And he said to the Rebbe, no. He didn't know he was supposed to say something. He didn't have what to say. So the Rebbe smiled and gave him a bottle. And the Rebbe said, this is for the wedding. This is for the wedding. Good. So he went down, and he didn't understand what was going on. What wedding? He didn't have a wedding. He was already married. He had children. And he didn't have his children. There wasn't going to be any wedding of anybody that he knew. But a bottle. And he came down, and people stand with little cups, and he had the people that have the bottles. They give little bits of l'chaim to everybody. And so when he finished, he still had the 9/10 of the bottle was still there. And he had the bottle. So his friend was standing there, says, the Rebbe gave me this, he said, for the wedding. It's a mistake. You must have thought I'm somebody else. And the guy said, no, the Rebbe doesn't make mistakes. Said, what do you mean doesn't make mistakes? What wedding are you talking about? I'm not getting married. He said, what did you say to the Rebbe when you went up? Did you say anything? First of all, he said, you shouldn't have gone up. This is only for people who have something. Did you say that? I didn't say anything. He just gave it to me and said, this is for the wedding. So I said, well, keep it. It's a good thing. Listen. Anyway, he keeps it, he brings it back. I guess he lived in Israel. Or he had a family in Israel. Anyway, so he went back to Israel. And he told everybody that the Rebbe Rebbe Lubavitch is very nice. He gave me this bottle. What did he say? It's for the, so people start telling him, listen, it's a custom that the Chabad people, they don't hold on to vodka, even if it's the Rebbe's vodka, they don't hold it for over Passover, and they don't sell it either. They don't sell it. Usually you take chametz, you sell it to a non-Jew. Our custom is we don't sell, if it's the Rebbe's things, we don't sell it to a non-Jew. If the Rebbe gives wine, there's people that had wine. So that Rebbe gave matzah. Some people took a little bit of matzah, they would make cakes out of it. But matzah and wine, you can hold over Passover, but not vodka. He says, no, what am I going to do with vodka? It isn't like, maybe he doesn't like vodka, whatever it is. Anyway, so he's got the bottle. So the family gets this idea that, listen, let's make a big family reunion, and we'll make it before Passover. And you can bring the bottle, and you can give it out. So, but the Rebbe said for the wedding, I says, what do you care? Listen, it's coming near Passover, and if Passover comes, you're going to have to, you won't be able to use the bottle. At least the Chabadniks, that's what they say. So, they don't, so let's make a big, so they decided, okay. And they brought the whole family together. They rented out a hall in a hotel. And they started this party, very nice. In the middle of their party, so a rabbi comes in, and he says, excuse me, can I ask for people for a minyan? We need a minyan. So these fellows are, they're in favor of Judaism. They're like, I don't know if any of them were actually religious, but okay, sure. So come into the other room, we'll make a minyan. What do you need a minyan for? He says, first of all, are there people here? It has to be people that keep Shabbat. Are there people? So a lot of them said, yeah, we keep Shabbat. They actually did keep Shabbat. They say keep Shabbat. So what do you need people for keeping Shabbat? Because we need witnesses. Witnesses for what? For a marriage. No, they come in, there's a bride and a groom standing there, and the rabbi, and there's nobody else. Just the two of them. And he comes in and says, what's your story? What type of wedding is it? Where are the guests? Where's the band? Where's this? And the girl, she's happy, but she starts crying a little bit. And so the rabbi takes him aside. He says, listen, that's an unusual situation. The guy, the fellow, the groom is a ger. He's a convert. He's a convert. And the girl, she was married to somebody previously, and she got divorced. It was a very, very nasty divorce. And the husband set the whole family against her, especially now she's getting married to a convert. So her whole family is against her. Nobody wants to come. And he's a convert. He hasn't got any family. So will you be the witnesses? So they said, yeah, sure, we'll be witnesses. So he made and that's it. So this David Asulin says, 1 second, 1 minute. They got married. They got to make a party. Says, okay, but you see, he says, listen, we're making this big party over here. Come and you'll be our guests. We'll make it a wedding party also. So, oh, thank you so much. The groom hugged him and this, and the bride was happy. His wife came in and started being friendly with the bride. They took him over. Suddenly they realized, wow, this is the bottle of vodka that the Rebbe gave for the wedding. This is the wedding. And he gave this bottle to the bride and groom, and he said, listen, this the Rebbe gave me for a wedding. It's not my wedding. Maybe the Rebbe meant this. The bride started to cry. She said, you won't believe this. He said, I had so much trouble from my family, from my ex-husband. Everybody hated me. Everyone was against me. And we wanted to get married. We wanted to get married, but I was so broken by the whole thing. He said, somebody told me I should write a letter to the Lubavitcher Rebbe. So I wrote, and the Rebbe came to me in a dream. And he said, you don't have to worry. I'm with you at the wedding. And this bottle is the bottle from the wedding. Oh, I should have stopped the share. You should have told me. Okay. Anyway, this bottle is the bottle that the Rebbe, Lubavitcher Rebbe, gave for your wedding. So the Rebbe was really with you. All right, my friends, what do you say about 3 o'clock? Are we going to meet at 3 o'clock? 1 second. Listen, today is a little bit different.